It was quite a volatile day, unfortunately to the downside for energy stocks and the price per barrel of oil. We saw a downside in the morning and then all of a sudden quite a steep drop. And I don't know what this steep drop was. If you happen to have seen something, please leave it in the comments below. A couple things were going on. We had Putin talking. Maybe he said something. I didn't catch what Putin was saying. I'm not worried about what he was saying, not only because he is yet to deliver to Europe, so I expect his deliveries are going to be less than expected, meaning prices remain high or go even higher. And there was a strong recovery in the price per barrel. We were down and then we were less down quite dramatically. Very quickly, we went down 2% and then we finished the day down less than 1%. That's quite a large change in the price per barrel of oil in a single day. That implies that buyers were happy to come on in and buy. So not too worried about things there. Stocks did lag. Again, haven't broken 80. We broke it for a second, then bounced right back up. I believe 80 is the new floor. And after such a long run, a little bit of consolidation here is nothing to be afraid of. We really got to stick in this trade for the long term. This is a longer term position. As you know, I'm thinking very long term here. Companies like Exxon, which recently announced a decision to withdraw from several oil and gas projects because they have oil and gas alternatives that can be used in engines that consume oil and gas. That is very interesting. That product can compete on price with the normal barrel per oil, and they'll still make a whole lot of money. So there are good companies that are positioned for the long term, however, are suffering from short-term minded, woke, ESG investors who have taken quite a lot off the table in these stocks. So companies like Exxon, I feel very good about, and I'm remaining in. I think this is just a little bit of a consolidation here. No big deal. We've had big gains, and hopefully there's more gains to come. We will see. Markets are uncertain. Another thing we're talking a whole lot about on this channel is inflation. And we didn't get a whole lot of particularly crazy inflation today. But for those of you who watch my videos every day, you might remember a week or two ago when Fed Chair Bostic, the first black member of the Fed I have heard talk in recent times, was the first, as far as I'm aware, to use not transitory. First Fed member to use that terminology, not transitory. We had heard a bunch of transitory, so this is a pretty big shift in tone. He came on CNBC today and was questioned about these inflation notions and said he's talked to business owners and expects inflation to remain through 2022 and into 2022, rather, to be a little bit more precise. We've seen lots of expectations and they have all been surpassed in terms of inflation. So I'm expecting more inflation. I'm not saying, explosion of the dollar, total devaluation, the end of the United States hegemony economically. I actually believe all those things are intact despite the rise of China. The United States represents a democracy run by the people, which enables stability and predictability rather than very clear uncertainty and unpredictability of the Chinese government. In addition, the dollar is, an important part of global transactions and obviously U.S. domestic transactions. And we talk about how printing dollars is a huge issue. However, it has also been a cure for pandemic-related stresses. So there are positives and negatives to printing the dollar. So I'm not in the camp that the dollar is going to disappear, at least right now. Obviously I see a lot of risks, but that doesn't mean there's going to be some inflation and some inflation that continues. However, we're seeing pretty much across the board, companies are able to raise costs and adjust. And this is like we said before and have been saying for many months now, many months actually, inflation is a lift all boats event. Companies are able to pass on costs and it's just a matter of accounting and they'll probably increase earnings. We saw it in the housing industry last year. Construction prices, etc., were going up. Final sales prices were going up. Yet the sector was remaining very strong at record levels. So that's the nature of the situation. I expect that notion and that paradigm to bleed out more broadly in the economy. We saw Chipotle numbers today. Food prices are up, especially meat prices. They're increasing their prices somewhat, and guess what? They're beating on earnings quite handsomely. So things are okay in the inflation department. I believe it's going to occur, but I believe it's going to benefit us stockholders, not us bondholders. We don't have any bonds over here. Although we wouldn't be opposed to the right bond, but the market's not very attractive right now for bonds. Anyways, that's today's video. We'll see what happens. And until next time, peace out.